this one bright-faced young boy came up to me while I was doing Sankirtan in the French Quarter. He had holes in his ears. You know, they put these earrings, like they wear these, I can't explain it. There's a big hole cut out in their ears, and he had like that. I don't know what that style is these days. I don't know. Anyway, cool guy, you know, hip guy. And he said, you know, he told me his story that he would find books that I would give people, and they would leave them on his table. He was a waiter. And he said the first book he got was The Perfection of Yoga. He took it home and read it. And then the next book somebody left was A Chant and Be Happy. He read that. But he noticed in the back of he kept getting more. And he noticed in the back of the books, all the books, it would talk about the Bhagavad Gita. And had an advertisement to send away for a Bhagavad Gita. And so he thought, I need to read that book first before I read any more books. That seems like the book I'm supposed to read. So he ordered a Bhagavad Gita. Long story short, he comes to our temple all the time now. In fact, last night at the Sunday feast, I was preaching to, wasn't last night, a few nights ago. They reserved a table for me to preach to two young girls from the LSU University that I was preaching to, and he asked me, can I sit with you? He wanted to preach to this other new person. And he's fired up. He's always really fired up. You know, he has a wife and two kids, and his wife's, you know, he's a very intelligent guy. He knows that he doesn't want to burn her out, so he doesn't force his, you know, she's respectful that he's into this, and he's thinking of ways he can bring her into the fold, so to speak. Very intelligent mind. He's got a good mind, and he's already made connections with the Krishna House in Gainesville, Florida, University of Florida. He's made many devotee friends. He's been on the last two Rath Yatras, wearing a dhoti. He had me show him how to put on a dhoti. But, you know, and this is all just because of these books. And so we all know these books are not ordinary books. They're mystical. And oftentimes devotees have spoken like this, that we don't really know who the book is really meant for. You can give it to someone, but they know someone they think would really like the book, and they're going to give it to them. Or they take it home, they leave it on their bookshelves, and somebody in the family picks it up. And sometimes years later, even 2 decades later, they find the book and they read it. So these books, I think Srila Prabhupada described them as time bombs. You know, they'll go off. So here's an example of that, is that I gave these books to people and they didn't understand the true value of them, or for whatever reason, they just left them. And he was meant to get those books, and he's become a full-on devotee now, chanting Hare Krishna on beads, you know, attending all our, you know, programs. And so all glories to Srila Prabhupada and his transcendental book distribution. Yes.